Welcome back to Puddins.fab.shop. Let's slide on into a new episode. All right, my booger snot starting to freeze to my mustache. I can feel it. As y'all can see here in Oklahoma, it's cold out. The cold ain't so bad. What is bad is a nice layer of ice on everything. Theodore's not even a fan. He tries to run, he can't go nowhere. We're not known for snow, but in the past, we're usually, we get iced over a lot state. And yeah, we've got some ice down right now, which is rather unfortunate. In front of that shop, she's all slicky icy up. In front of this shop, slicky icy up. And my plan was to get old Roy snatched up from over here to over there because we need to do some work on it. Me and this old gal got a date. I just don't think the skid steer is gonna do good trying to drag stuff around on sheets of ice. I think I'm gonna tear stuff up. So, the good news is, actually yesterday I spent a good amount of time out here cleaning. As y'all can probably tell, this is a lot nicer than what it's been. Don't look in that corner where all the junk is. We're gonna carry it outside when we don't fall on our butts. I think we're gonna try to Austin Powers this Model A. Because if we can get the Model A pulled down in here somehow, we can sneak across the rock in the skid steer, barely have to be on the ice for a second, and then we can probably come in here and try to sneak old Roy through the old golden passageway. Gonna kick it old school, hit the shopping cart, put it in. Guy hit the shopping cart. Y'all know I seen a comment the other day said I can't watch Puddins.fab.shop. It dances too much. How do you move your welding cart? That's not how people move their welding carts? Sucks to be them. Fired up, let them horses sing. It might be 0 degrees out, but that Model A don't give a damn, does it? That Model A just fired up like, where you want me to take you, Dad? I'll get you there. Give me about 30 minutes, I'll get her turned around. Shoot, that wasn't even bad. I'm about to put some lawnmower blades underneath this little 0 turn. Whew, sure am happy I cleaned all that yesterday. Made this morning nice and easy. We may have to move our little forward banger. Bless you. Stack your book so when you drive in here, we're gonna very simply shove that out of the way and catch the chain one shot. No help, they call me One Take Jake. Let's do it, baby. Yeah! Woohoo! You finally warm up on me, old gal? Now we did end up getting a little bit of snow, and I think that'll help us get up this hill because we've got a little layer of snow down to get traction on, hopefully. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, she's climbing it. And we should be good on this rock, but it's gonna be this slick approach right here where she'll get butt nasty. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're spinning. And worse than spinning, we were just sliding towards my truck, which is why I was nervous to move all these 2-wheel drive vehicles around here. I don't want to be tearing nothing up. We don't want no custom body work going on around here, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get a straight shot. We're just gonna go in the shop before we tear anything up. No, we can make it in the shop. Come on, spinning. Spinning ain't winning. All right, boys, we're in. Mission's a go. We hooked that baby with practically no damage at all to the buck. Don't worry about putting a little snow down the carburetor, that don't matter. Come on, baby. This tire right here is like my backside in these overalls. It's just a little flat. These good years aren't having a good day. Whoa! Is it good to breathe diesel fumes? Asking for a friend. We're doing pretty good, except we need to turn these bad boys because it's, yeah, trying to take us that way. Dude, how come you didn't hop in there and turn that for me? Don't worry, Theo. I'll get it. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't work out. Ah, yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Well, there we go. I'm gonna leave the skid steer in here because I'm about to tell you what we're gonna get into this. We're about to take some stuff apart. We're going backwards. Let me move the Model A. Somebody call Alfred because we're about to put her in the bat cave. All right, now that we're a little more situated, what are we doing here, Puddin'? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. Roy here was a build we'd started working on for Dad, and then we kind of made it to a point of paint and body type stuff. And I know y'all say you want to see me paint stuff, but I can't even do body work. So once we make it to the point of paint and body, I'm usually like, we slow down a little bit, little boo. Previously, we've put a fuel system in this thing. This has the in-tank pump for the, what in the world? We just got that flapping. Fuel injection. This was previously a cut-down truck. We had boxed it up. We put some fresh brakes on this thing all the way around. And I think we put new bearings and stuff in the front. I probably need to get back in there because at one point I realized I left this out of there. Oopsie daisy. We don't really need that, do we? 6 liter right here. She is bolted in. We fabbed up some little pedestals to mount them mounts to. She's just bolted up to the 350 turbo. And guys, I kind of made it to a point where we need to backtrack a little bit because we're gonna make this just a little nicer than what it was originally planned to be. We're gonna get a little paint on this chassis, and that transmission is a 350 turbo. Now it worked decades ago when the truck was running and driving, but I kind of want to pull it out and have it freshened up. I'm not going to build the transmission. I'm not a transmission builder, but I've got a buddy who takes good care of me, and I may have him just do whatever he recommends for it to hold up to the 6 liter. Now Dad's not going to just be plumb, dog hogging this thing, romping on it. And we ain't gonna make it overly nice because do not forget, this truck is gonna live its life on dirt roads. But I think we're gonna backtrack. We gotta get a suspension lift on it. We're gonna pull the cab, we're gonna pull the motor, we're gonna pull the transmission, and we're gonna probably take this chassis as a roller type thing, all still assembled to my sandblast and paint guy. Zippity dood all day. Get your butt out the way, Bolt. If you're gonna get in one of these, you better have you a 12 point. Those aren't 12 point. About the only 12 point I think you gotta have. There we go. Holy crud. Look at the crud. A little crud in it. Let's head down on down. People wanna know, P-Tang, how come you don't use your left? You're always laying on the ground underneath it. It's just faster. Now that body bolt had about 2 threads started. That's because we need new bushings, body mounts, whatever you call them. That was kind of a mock-up, I guess you would. This one has even more threads. Woo! Look at that long daddy. Is that a custom bolt? That's a welded together custom bolt. I didn't even notice that last time. So back in the day, my buddy Larry built this thing, and you talk about do it on a budget. Well, he literally did stuff on a budget like you could just see there. Meaning if he didn't have a bolt long enough, he's gonna cut one and weld one. Which, I mean, what else do you do? Where else do you get a bolt 11 inches long? But also he need 11-inch long bolt because he had a 5-inch body lift on this thing that was also homemade. So you talk about do it with what you got and what you can. That's how Larry literally did it. Yep, another custom bolt. Something else I thought about, I knew I'd hooked up our shifter. So, is it this side? Oh, no, there we go. If we just drop that, perfect. Oh, shoot, she'll all fall apart. There we go. I think that's all we actually have holding this cab on. So now I gotta figure out where we can position the truck to actually pick up the cab. No, she's not in neutral. And luckily someone just disconnected the shifter so we get to crawl up underneath it. Reverse, neutral. Bet she rolls easier. Yeah, it's probably a good thing we pull this. Looks like this is bend and leaking. Yeah. Think maybe that could work? Dang it! Coming for it. Coming for it. We're gonna earn it today. Gotta swing that arm back. Alright, take her back. See, I got the little strong hand lift with the little stubby wubby with the 45 on her. So if we need that under that, we gotta shove her back. And this one here's the long daddy. She could reach pert near to the garage door. So we can swing it back with a nice little offset. I'm not sure we disconnected everything, but I know how to tell real easy. Woo, Eagle Eye did good. Just caught the lip perfect on all them. Going up. Don't flip on me. Looking good so far. Yeah, something was like drag, drag, pop, bang, boom. Oh, what is this? That's what it was. That's what I was hearing. The parking brake cable. Oh, I guess before I'd only picked up on this enough to mess with our body mounts. I ain't actually picked it up off there. So also I see our shifter. Oh yeah. That thing right there is not happy. Let's unhook some stuff before we tear up some stuff. Say we should just be able to pull our knob. Hey Ma, Puddin's in there pulling his knob. All right, that should be good. And if I was a parking brake cable, what would I need? Huh. This thing ain't even got parking brake cables actually hooked up. Oh yeah, she's got the classic, just tuck it in the frame and zip tie it so it don't flop around on you trick. Yeah, belly crawl, war zone. Can't find, oh, I put my kniffy up here. Supposed to keep your kniffy in your pocket for situations like that. One. Woohoo! Parking brake cable free. Boom! Get out of here, body mount. Ka-cha! Get out of here, old ugly bushing. Woo, I think we got her now. One final check. Better safe than sorry. Oh yeah. Even like that, we don't want that getting tangled up and pulling us down. Oh, speedo cable. Yeah, probably need to disconnect it as well. What the heck was this thing? What in the world? Speedo cable, parking brake cable. What other cables are there? Oh, dang hood release. Dummy. Confirmed. That's everything. Hey! Ho! Hey! Ho! Hey! Ho! Yeah. Here's our new body mount we started putting in last time. Like I said, these were kind of our problem, these worn out bushings. Well, when we go back together, we're gonna put some new ones on there, okay? Dang, has that got a built-in body lift? I don't know how this crap works. We'll figure it out eventually. That cab is out of here. Oh, the little dinger got me. Never mind. I meant to say dangler. I said dinger. Don't want to get hit in the face with a dinger. After a love tap like that, you need a drink. Now, I don't want this big green, nasty, slimy, snotty booger of a cab to be taking up place in here, so we're gonna sit outside. But I don't want that new master booster set up outside, so we're gonna pull it as easy as it is to get. Ooh, don't forget about my goodies in here. Yeah, hey there, Rust. my not so good friend. Oh shoot, I never even hooked that up. Perfect. I'm always a step ahead of myself. When you're good, you're good. Can't have our new setup outside getting all rusty, crusty, and not brand new no more. Oh, I about got that stuck. We better quit. Might have to crank her old school here, you know, just a little ratchet and wrench. Hell, that ain't even old school. I'm not gonna reveal too much, but me and Dad kind of got together and have a little bit of a new vision on the truck, which also kind of contributes to us, you know, making sure stuff's just a little nicer. I need to get my van rollers. The wheels and tires I took off the van hopefully should bolt on this. I mean, they're both 8-lug thugs. G-unit. You know what I mean? And then these steelies, we're gonna have them blasted. And these tires are part of my, or probably the favorite part, that's what I'm trying to say, of this thing being a big lifted build. 1, 2, 3. Unless you're Michael Jackson, then it's 3. Get us a little workout in. Whew, hubba hubba. All right, these 37s, if y'all's not four-wheel drive folks know them. Obviously, this tread's easily identifiable. These are Goodyear. These are Humvee tires, guys. These came off Hummers. They made a different style. These ones right here are the ones I really like. That, to me, is part of what makes Old Roy, Old Roy. Other than that, she's just a, you know, lifted C10. But man, those tires on it just always did it for me. Those ones are dry rotted. So I found a decent set here. These are like 98%. One of them somewhere you could still see it had some sticker on it. So I'm gonna feel a lot better about putting Dad on the highway with a 6-liter where he's running at least 140 miles an hour with these ones right here that don't have a bunch of cracks in them. So these old ones looked all right, and the old black paint that was rattle canned on there with probably no prep work back in the day looked all right. But we're gonna pull those off where we can have these broke down, where we can get the steelies actually blasted and painted nice. We'll be putting a nicer set of tires on it. Now I was kind of looking, the best I could remember, everything looks pretty good on this chassis, which is why I wasn't too worried about tearing into it all. And by that, I mean like our bushings. Like if you look back here at the leaf spring bushings, none of this stuff, you may see a little crack on one here or there, but none of it's like plumb blown out or anything like that. So that's why I'm not worried about pulling stuff apart. Same on the front end. If we look at like the tie rods, those boots are actually in really good shape. These little knuckle thingies, that's all in good shape. She's actually pretty good for what she was. That right there is about the saddest looking piece, and if we've got to replace that, that ain't too bad. I mean, hell, she'll make a decent back road driver yet, I think. I think someone's a little jealous of old Roy here. Someone wants old Roy's living. We get to keep backtracking with pulling this apart. Man, that 6-liter kind of makes this setup look small, don't it? Well, maybe not. Proportionally, they look all right. I've never actually paid attention and looked at this little lever setup on how this stuff works on the transfer case. But even like our U-joints and stuff, that's got good rubber in it, guys. I think those were probably replaced back in the day when this thing was built. Probably have plenty of life left in them. So where are we now? I guess we can go down through here and pull our fuel system. Oh, let me get that out of here. Hey, Mom, Puddin can't focus today. He's lost his 8-day clock. He's like them Dollar General stores all over the place. I can see our heat escaping. Gotta play on it a little bit. Some of us can only drift in the ice because none of our stuff's actually powerful enough, okay? Give me a break. Woo! These little things are nice, just be able to unbolt them like that. We'll keep this line together. Looks like I've got a couple zip ties, a couple clamps. Whew! Shoot, that's easy enough. Quick release up here on our fuel rail. Here's pudding logic. Instead of going and getting the actual tool for this, which is in my toolbox and would take 30 seconds to go there and back, we will spend a minute doing it with our knife and probably break it to try to save time. Very simple fuel system. Off. She should be free. And she's coming with me. Now, since we're going disassembly here, bag and tag, baby. Get you some cheapo sandwich bags from the dollar store. I told you they're everywhere. Gas tank, bag and tag. I'll keep our line disconnecting party going. Hey, what are you doing? Trying to show off? Theo, people don't want to know how many sweaters you have. What are you doing, dude? You ever wash these things after a hard day's work or what? That old Theo showing off his collection. You never know with that dude. Trans cooler lines, those should just pop off. And then, boom, vacuum modulator. Hard line adaptator. Right. Oh, I'll try to remember to say this, but there's a little sketch I done at one point, a couple extra stickers, and the North Dakota license plate from the Stout build. Whenever I release the Stout merchandise at some point, we're gonna throw that in with random orders. Another little squirrel moment. Now, I've never removed a transmission from a transfer case, and honestly, I was planning on leaving this in here where it can just get blasted and painted in one go around. It looks like that mount is a pedestal that stays on the transfer case side. It looks like if we pull those, I just don't know if that just slides. Surely it does, just a little slip fit, right? I doubt there's anything else retained in it. We'll figure it out as we go because we're about to start trying to pull this drivetrain out of here. Don't tell me I left the old electric ratcheting device on old Roy's cab. Dang, left the ratchet and the wrench. Quick, run! Jeez Louise, that sucker is cold. Here y'all. What are you doing, dude? You do not need a work coat, okay? You won't even walk on the ice, you're scared of it. Jeez, dude, killing me here. Can't take him anywhere. Let's figure out how we're gonna pick her up. We may have to skid steer it. I ain't getting that frozen cherry picker, I promise y'all that. Give that a little hook, little Captain Hook, and we'll bolt to the back. Apparently I never put all the bell housing bolts in, which for some reason I thought I had. It's probably a good thing we're looking into this a little more. Before Dad put all 4,000 foot-pounds of torque to work from the 6-liter and snap the transmission clean off. Try to snap a tranny with your Ford. Try to do that, Ford boys. Just playing, guys. Don't get all worked up. The Ford guys don't like the jokes, I know. Ford guys are like, dude, we blow trannies all the time. You blow what? Calm down, guys. We can make some jokes, okay? It's all right. I like Fords. I like Chevrolets. I like everything's. Comedy's universal. Don't get upset. Jeez Louise. We probably need to support our transmission so it don't try to do the flop drop. Got a universal transmission support right here. That should kind of provide some type of support. Oh, and speaking of forge, guys, I know I kind of upset some people because they don't like jokes, but I may have found a sweet one, like a perfect one. Oh man, it's so cool. Y'all may get to see it at some point this year on the channel, and I'll just leave it at that. Are you saying you bought a Ford pudding? Who knows? Now that I think about it, I do believe I put the torque converter bolts in this thing. So we may need to pull them. Yeah. Damn old high compression unit. It's hard to spin. Can't remember specs on this one. I think we're running about 13:1 compression. Got a runner off about $120 octane. She gonna do 4-wheel drive papa wheelies in the mud pit. Here comes the number 3. I've already pulled 2 of them. That should have her torque converter free. There she be. A little pro tip on the build for you is you always want to do something like use some Allen headed bolts for your bell housing. That way, if the project ever leaves you and goes on to the next unexpected victim, and they've got to get in there and work on something like that, they're like, what the hell, man, I got Allen wrenches. All I've got's normal stuff. Who would put these in there? Got to keep people on their toes. Kill. Shoo, who tightened that up, huh? She got a little wibble wobble to her. She's a little wibbler wobbler. Got a little kink in her threads, huh? Little pep in her step. Little wobble to her throttle. As long as we pick up on this just a hair and can get our bolts out, that motor should be ready to pull. I just don't know how we're going to do that, because if I pick that up, then I can't climb out of it. So we need to pull those bolts. Man, we did a little pry bar, little pry and pick. Oh yeah, barely even pick up on that, baby. Bolt come right out. Boy, this side too, whoever fabricated the motor mounts must have done a hell of a job. It'll work or it won't. Oh gosh, I guess I just realized once I try to pick up on this, I'm not gonna be able to get out and manhandle nothing because I'll be trapped in this. This is a terrible idea. That went surprisingly well. I didn't think about sitting it down, but right here, at least we can pick it right up with this. Pick it right up, super easy, no problem. Yo, hold on. There we go. That old bouncing crane, don't worry about that. She's fine. That old oil slick, don't worry about that. Pfft. She's due for an oil change anyhow. She just came out where her dipstick was from laying on her side, no big deal. What are you doing, working man? Hey now, don't be falling on me. Oh, I'm shoving against this engine like it ain't gonna swing. I also don't know why I ain't pulling this out like it don't come off here. I don't think I ever realized that the block right there ain't drilled intact. And 3 will hold it till it don't. Motor removal, success. Kinda. You don't want no dirty hose up in here. Gotta keep your hose clean. Old kitty litter out. We got a mess on our hands, folks. This thing's leaking more oil than something pole barn garage would drive. Did y'all hear about old Puddin'? He kicked the bucket. Yes, sir. Got that 6-liter tucked up here with her tires, too. Most folks don't know that I'm actually part of the Men's USA curling team. Oh, field goal. I'm just saying I slid that baby with the goal of it being underneath that torque converter, and tell me it ain't. That's right. Speaking of curling and USA and cold sports, I heard old Canada and USA played some hockey the other day. I heard somebody was doing some booing and then got their butt stomped. That's what I heard. I'm not a hockey fan. I'm just letting y'all know what I heard. All right, we're gonna pull this to drop a little weight. The ratchet strap support seemed to have done a wonderful job. So now we'll probably remove our shifter first by the looks of it. Oh no, shifter stays on this side. So we just need to pull them 4 bolts. All right, that's gonna take a minute. All right, now we're rolling one at a time. Oh yeah. Got on there a little, yeah, looks like a red RTV, don't look like Loctite. Now obviously this combo, I say obviously, I don't know, but I don't think it would have came painted blue with a blue transfer case. So someone's had her out at some point. As I loosen this one here, I talked about, I don't know if it just slips together, but I don't know if y'all can see that gap opening up there. I think she's gonna wanna come out of there. All right, we're ready to try to pick her up, see what happens. Yeah, yeah, come on, let's blow that back out. Oh, she's separating. She's separated. Yeah. Woo! That wasn't very smart. Now, I wasn't sure how much fluid was left in that thing, but the answer was quite a bit.
Of course I peed my pants. Everybody my age pees their pants. It's the coolest.
Really?
Looks like a bloodbath in here. Well, that was going good till it wasn't. How's that for some hardware? 3 different lengths. Theo's not impressed. All right, I guess as long as we just cover that up good, that'll be fine. We can leave that all in there. Get your luber-duber ready. I think we're about to try to tackle our lift kit. Our shocks we're gonna pull off. We'll just leave them off for now. I'll do the same thing on the rear here, and also, she needs a lift block. Yo, not off to a good start there, are we? Putting this back on because I don't want to be losing our hardware. Ouch! Ow! I don't know how, but I smashed that one fingertip. That's good, because this one's finally starting to heal up, so we ought to smash another one. Let's see if these U-bolts want to play nice. Woo! You don't get nasty, we can get nasty. She wants to play hard to get. Well, I know how to be stubborn too. Be free! Yum, 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 yum. Found some rust flakes. It's everybody's favorite cereal. Big old bowl. Ooh, that one's got pebbles in it. Rusty pebbles. Ow! Golly! Straight onto the fork head. All right, with those cleaned out, got our pinion angles set, looking good. Now we can look at going back together with some blocks. All right, our new hardware, lift blocks. I thought this was supposed to be 4 inches. Now look like 4 inches. Most definitely not 4 inches. As you can see, this kit came with a fabricated lift block. I guess this is the first time I've ever ran fabricated ones. Meh, we'll try them out. Gotta make sure we put them in there right. They'll even go in there. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and prop that up a little bit. Uh-oh, she needs to go that way. Smack that taquito a couple times, we'll scoot her over. Oh, taquito smack. Am I crazy? That side went. This side don't even feel close. It's just ting-tanging around. I guess she ain't perfect on this side neither. Let's get the old captain hook here. Well, that's weird. I thought it was just gonna be full of flaky rust, but nothing really came out of there. Put a carbide down in it, see what happens. There we go. Yeah, I think there may have been a little crud in there. Magic! All right, clean out that side too with them able to sit in a place now. Let's try to get the rest of this lined up. Oh yeah, we found the hole there. Now we'll use this same plate. And she just comes with some longer U-bolts and new hardware. Oh, curve ball. Curve ball. Did not think about this until this moment. This is a K10 long bed that was cut down to a short bed, but was upgraded to 3/4 ton axles. AKA, these U-bolts are too stinking small for that big old honker right there. I can hammer it on there, but then it spreads that out so much, as you can see, that ain't even close to starting. Shit the bed Fred. That probably means these are too small for the front. Oh, no? All right, the front ones will work. We're just in sort of kind of bad shape back here. Well, the back's kind of at a standstill. Let's see if we can mess up the front too. Guess I never realized she had the high performance white shocks. No wonder why this thing used to ride so good. Now, seems like our front ones may play a little nicer. Woohoo! That's kind of boogering her up. Come on, baby. You can do it! Oh man, someone boogered it up. Ha! Yeah, other side came off easy. That's working good. Be free! Ooh, Betsy, a little too far. Oh, I didn't think about. Y'all can tell I ain't mess with lift kits a lot. I didn't even think about if we're gonna have to get extended brake line hosies. Now our front is gonna get completely new leaf springs. That's where you get your lift at. So we gotta get these old ones out of here. There you go, she's a little rusted in there. This side ain't being so nice. That one made me earn it. Look how rusty and crusty that is. That bolt's probably destroyed. Ain't no goods no mores. Might be able to save her. Yeah. Front springs dropped. Rear springs. Eagle Eye says that's two different size doohickeys. 9/16 and 11/16. I would have guessed those to be the same size. That baby's got some lube on her. Too bad them front ones didn't. Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Sometimes you kick butt, sometimes you get your butt kicked. This is not the proper bolt as suspected. A little too small, 3/8 bolt. This one appears to be a 7/16. And drive out our sleeve here. That we can pull these bushings, clean the hole. Now I got some of these, what I suspect to be them. That diameter is the same. That depth pretty well matches. Just look at how bulky that is. Now that's mushroomed out. That sleeve allows so much to hang out that, I don't know, just don't seem it should have to see much 5/16 of material on each side, but I guess that's what we're gonna try because that's what we got. A little lube-a-doober, and lube up the inside and the outside. And we'll get that old greasy stuff on everything. Get on in there nice deep like boy. Well, we're in a bad spot considering it's icy and I don't plan on driving today. We need hardware for about everything to get this back together. Boop! Those fit perfect, so it's gotta be what's supposed to be here. We can lube that up. See right there, the metal sleeve's flush with that, but over here it's got close to 1/2 inch to go. So I'll split our differences there. We just can't go back together because we ain't got a bunch of 7/16 bolts. He starts to get me fired up. The hell am I building here, huh? Oh, damn rickety. Trickety-rickety, that's what it is. Tricking me the whole way. Y'all wanna know how I know I don't do lift kits? Because like I said, I didn't get longer brake lines, no sir. Did I even think about getting some type of drop arm? Hell no, just run it. You know, it'd be fine. Idiot, what am I doing here? Old sticky hand Dan here done lubricated the camera. Oh, now it's giving me a little sticky icky. All right, here's where we're at, guys. I need to get these parts ordered that I just mentioned, so I'm gonna get that done. I've gathered hardware that we're gonna need to replace. I think tomorrow I'll probably get out here. We'll do some fabricating as far as lopping this stuff off and figuring it out. And that'll give time for stuff to open up. People get out on the roads. Hopefully they'll give them time to salt them or melt them some more. And then we'll have to go gather hardware to hopefully finish this up. However, before I go in today, tomorrow, Top Stitch Taylor is supposed to come tomorrow evening so we can wrap up the interior of the Toyota Stout. So I ought to try to get it in here where we can get it thawing out. So we need that in here. And luckily enough snow's gathered that I think we can make it. We just ain't gonna be able to see diddly. Here we go. I better hurry up before that gets traction, huh? Get it, you little nasty thing. Whip them tires. It just goes. Oh yeah, we got her. Fun fact, Theodore will only poop next to a plant via, example, tall tree, little sprouting plant, something. If you find a plant around here growing, pretty good chance it's got some Theo turds next to it. I pulled her back outside. I realized I'd probably be smarter to blow off some of this snow so it don't make a big old watery mess. Good morning. Let's make fire. old booger rag, don't worry about that. Hey, get out of here, fireman. I think I got her cut pretty good. Yeah, one mean hip thrust. Yeah, two mean hip thrusts. Yeah. Now we're ready for some upright rows. Feeling good, look good, feel good. So, my unprofessional opinion, I'm trying to tell what was going on here. And as you can see, what's left on here is actually a piece of the frame. So it looks like he sliced the frame, then took some strap here, probably, yeah, 1/2 inch thick or so. And he had them raised up. So then he slid those pieces up. Underneath that, he put these hooks in the frame and welded them up where you had a good hook in place. And this mount's been rebuilt because the front of it looks like it was probably damaged. So there's just a piece of plate here and he just put a piece of strap in there. This don't concern me so much. We just got to figure out what we're going to put back, because the goal will probably be to put like a factory bumper back on this thing. So we got to get something on the front. So let me just finish cutting off the old stuff, then we'll figure out some new stuff. How's that? Boy, that sucker is full welded too. I wonder if I can run the Sawzall blade right behind that and keep our material removal to a minimum. Because that backside's full welded underneath there, that Sawzall's not liking that because it's having to cut through that hard weld. I think we're going to be here for 10 days. Plasma blast it is! Watch out! Plasma blast to the face! Oh, it's getting wild out here. Trying to open that gap up a little bit. See, the problem is that hook goes all the way through and she's a thick one. So now we got to figure out how to cut through that. That looks like a good about 1 inch by 1 inch. Oh, there is a hole in it. So if we blast down, we may be able to, it ain't gonna be pretty, but we may be able to get it. Woo, did y'all take some sparks? We're getting there. Got that opening up a little bit now. Aha! That other side came off much quicker now that we knew what we were doing. I'm curious if we can't get in here and cut this off of this and then reattach this over to there. This stuff's almost gouged back behind this. Let's go do some measuring. All right, so right here is what a blazer frame looks like, and I'm assuming they're similar, but now I see this one's been cut on. Oh, boot scooting, got some icicles on you, baby. What about over here? Okay, so the front of the blazer ones were different because I see those run at an angle. I just assumed it was all gonna match. So here's just the 2-wheel drive one. We got one slot, and trying to find something we can measure off of. Just roughly gonna say 1 inch and 11/16 to the middle of that slotted hole from that lip. So now we can check that on ours, on the one good side that the mount ain't been rebuilt, and see if it's gonna be possible for us to get within close to that number. So there's the oblong slotted one on this, and that ain't gonna do us no good because those do not match. Crap. See, the problem here is those are what's supposed to hold our bumper, I do believe. We'd like to get the bumper in factory location. If that was originally cut right there, I'd say between cutting it all, we've probably lost 3/8 of an inch of material. So if we were to clean that and we just butt it up there, I'm betting it needs to be pushed out 3/8 of an inch. Here's the dealio. I try to measure my frames. I called my good pal Mortsky Repair way up north, thinking he may have a stripped down 4-wheel drive. He could give me some reference measurements. He don't. I don't know why I made that phone call. I just felt like wasting breath. Anyhow, I'm gonna clean these up. We're gonna add anywhere from 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Depends on what scrap material I find to weld in there. And then in the future, when we go put a bumper on, if stuff don't quite fit, then we can slot holes and it'll work. Good job, buddy. Go lay down. Go on. R.I.P. to the C-channel bumpers. I'm gonna take this to church with me because that's my holy bumper. Oh, good joke. He's on fire. These are looking pretty bad. Next up, we'll clean up our little pieces. They a little ugly. Woo, she's hotter than a two-pecker tom kitty. So see, we're at an angle here. So I'm actually going to change our plate to 1/4 inch. So we'll just square that. We'll connect that. We'll cut that out. We'll plate that. I'm going to tack it at the bottom, and then I'll kind of shove it out. It's going to kind of square that up some. It'll create a bigger gap up here, but we'll just have to fill it up. These poor frame horns are way past the precision work. You know what I mean? Got her tacked up. Like I said, a little gap there. That matches all right for the given situation, I'd say. And I almost forgot that we are doing a small body lift as well. So we're just gonna put that back. No matter what, we're probably gonna be modifying bumper brackets. Why didn't I just do a 6-inch lift and get rid of the body lift altogether? Who's running this place around here? Now, if we really were building a show truck here, guys, we could get the roll lock out and finish smoothing that out to like perfection. But that's not what we're building. We're just trying to get something back to where it's kind of supposed to be. Yeah, there's a little divot right in there, but overall, guys, compared to what we started with, I think that's pretty dang good. There's gonna be a little bit of an ugly weld in there. It ain't the prettiest thing, that's okay. In here, put us a little bit of weld on there. Should be plenty strong. And she should get the job done. Little split the difference on this side. So over here, she fits up tight, and we actually don't need a piece in there. Just that down there wasn't too happy. We also found a slick along the way, but I went off of that to that hole, 11.5. Over here, 11.5. So we're actually matching up pretty good. Since we got all of our devices here, right there we've got a random piece of metal. We're gonna cut that off and get her cleaned up too. You see that?
Yeah, it's moving more than it should.
We may have just made a breakthrough discovery. I can spin these rivets over here. Don't worry, I got a welder. We can fix that too. Yeah, when I tap this shouldn't move back 1/8 of an inch. No thing fought me till the end. I'm glad we hammered on that and discovered that. That is all new to me. That weld's gone, piece of scrap's gone. Now I guess we'll try to locate this exactly where it needs to be. I guess it really only mounts our sway bar, which is gonna have a little give in it anyhow. I think it's supposed to be more there, not pulled back there. Oh, man. Little unsuspected metal cleaning or unplanned. I drove this thing to Louisiana and back.
I know.
There's a cross member flopping. Used to wonder what that clunk was. All right, got her clamped where we want her.
Turn her up.
Turn her up. I don't know why Chevrolet was using rivets like they didn't have a welder anyhow. These frames are garbage. I'm saying it. Everyone's like, oh, they're good. No, these things are garbage. I ain't ever seen one yet I've been impressed by. Cut one in half, they go badoing. Got a Mercedes Mudsadie with the front ends. That looks great compared to how that one is. And I ain't ever measured a square C10 frame in my life. I got a couple welds that go on there that say she ain't gonna move again though. Promise you that. I'm blind. With that thing full welded up, she ain't gonna bounce around on us no more. Up next, I guess we can try to do something a little better than this since we're here. Got the tools out. Try to class her up a hair. Good enough. Weld her in, smooth her out. She's better without a doubt. I noticed this little piece over here. I don't know. I think it's for a shifter probably. Looks like something that Larry had probably added at one point. We are going to weld here and some of here. I'm going to cut this off probably right there and just get rid of this. Clean it up too. All right, smooth that out. Zip this another weld on that back side. Now it don't do the overhang, whatever. How it was plenty strong, guys. I just think that looks a little better. Looking at that cross member and picking this up kind of makes me think after what we found on the front, just since we're here, we may smack on all these other cross members, make sure there ain't nothing else old loosey-goosey on this rig.
Check for others.
Cross member check. Alright, the hammer on it test is a pass. So now we're finally ready to work our way towards the back. I did not think we were going to be doing that much on the front. What are these? Parking brake cable things? We'll probably leave them just in case. Guys, I'm kind of looking at everything back here. Like I said, we got these little welds here, but look at this little floppy thing. That's just something to make a little noise as you go down the road. We need to cut that off. Speaking of the floppy jockey, there's another one right there. There's your nice little rattle for no apparent reason. Over on this side, I don't know what this was, but we've got a piece of a bracket here. A couple rivets are left, and whoosh, that got cut. So we're going to look at cleaning all this up. I think Slick's going to start grinding on these big old ugly chunks for me. And I'm going to start trying to slice some of the crap off that I can slice off there. I bet someone had a damn
Yeah.
gooseneck ball on her. That can be arranged to go back in. I'm like, we're gonna cut those off and then the video clips and we're putting 2x4 across there, building it back. Lifted on 37s,
With a gooseneck.
short bed with a gooseneck, baby.
Gooseneck just be like this.
Oh yeah, that's the Oklahoma squat when you got that gooseneck leaning.
Yeah.
Turn the gooseneck into a drive-on. Bill working on the rail.
Wired it myself.
Did you get her?
One down.
I weld her up.
Just a touch.
Be gouging my pristine frame.
Should be alright.
It's coming out of his paycheck.
You guys are getting paid?
Is the bracket off or not?
It's off.
Did I gouge her bad?
Nah.
Don't show the camera.
Be alright.
Professionals only. This is spinning so much, she ain't got a good ground on her, so I actually can't cut it. So I'm gonna try to ground it with them pliers. Nope, still didn't work. This thing's welded on, she's bolted on, she's welded on more. It's damn sure it was never gonna fall off. I ain't figured out how we're gonna get it off yet. Y'all think I'm playing? Everything's a joke around here, huh? No, this thing's literally bolted. I just cut through back there, but those are welded down to here. Well, those may be bolted, but that's welded. That goes across, that's all welded. She's a toughin'.
This old tag bracket could have held the trailer by itself.
Yeah.
Golly.
We put an 18-foot car hauler off the license plate. Yeah. Like that was doing anything.
Tink. Tink, tink.
I don't know what else is holding it. There she goes. She gone. The more I look at this, the more I think we might be able to salvage it and run it. It's super strong the way he's plated the outside. He's even braced that back and everything. And what I'm thinking is, again, with a 2-inch body lift, that may be roughly where we need it. And if for some reason it's too high that the bumper ain't gonna want to fit good, we could easily drop that down basically by cutting this off and then stacking another receiver to it. Of course, once it was welded, we would then full plate it up and everything. We could even plate it out that way. So instead of butchering up the rear of this frame, trying to cut all that off there, for now, I'm gonna drag this along here. We'll clean it up with a flap attack. We'll get this cleaned up. And I bet we'll be able to make that work how we need it in the future.
Hey, yeah.
Hopefully she'll be right where we need it. We'll get old Puddin' Pops a drop hitch, and hopefully he'll be towing us hay around the farm and, you know, firewood on the trailer, stuff like that with this old girl. Then he can get down to his donkeys when he needs to. Sometimes the ugly must come before the pretty. Shop Proverbs by Pudding. That thing's black paint ready. Looks way more gooder. Little gouge or two, no problem. This side we got a little more carried away.
Yeah, I done cut it in half.
Yeah, a couple big caterpillars on that side. She'll smooth out. You know how Larry was building mud trucks for like 700 bucks? It was insane. He had like a real budget he stuck to. Even though he was kind of, we now know, kind of like scrapping some of this together, so to speak. Even Larry rounded a corner.
Gotta be nice.
Yeah. But Mortsky cut it on that C notch. That's what I was getting at.
Oh, you done did him bad.
Teamwork. After that good quality teamwork of smoothing up our welds and everything, we're about to the point where I think the metal fab's done. There was way more little crap to work on than I kind of thought for some reason. And I'm glad we did it, because we get a little paint on that, guys, and like I said, she may not be full show quality, but it's definitely taking this truck to a nicer level of build instead of looking up underneath there and seeing, you know, old brackets and, you know, cross members not actually riveted in, stuff like that. You know, regular old stuff. Pretty typical C10 stuff, you know. You just ain't gonna see it on this one. She's too good. You also ain't gonna see a bump stop on the back, because I don't think that little bump stop's necessary.
If you hit that bump stop, you got bigger problems. You're going to the hospital.
Yeah. Dad's getting that buck nasty that he needs a bump stop in this thing. He just needs to calm it down out there on the farm.
Turn it down, Ball Hall 1000.
Yeah. Calm down, Jimmy Warner. Speaking of random bolts, what we got here? Another one. Yeah, we'll get that off there. That's the kind of crap we're looking for now down through here. Little plastic clip or something, whatever that is, we'll pull it out of there. Our wiring, we're probably gonna strip it out. Just anything we can get to finish cleaning her up here. Yeah, random ground. All of it, get rid of all of it. I'll do the hard job, Slick. I'll get the wiring. Yeah! Can't even do that the right way. Dang, actually using some tools and not fire or cutting devices.
Well, I seen your cutting device. You had to go get another battery, and then it was this, and then it wouldn't cut. So I'll just.
What size you got there? Halfer? Dang. There's another one up here. What all they have bolted on this sucker?
Exhaust.
Exhaust from every build ever. It's probably had 47 exhaust combos on it. I tell you what ain't going back on it. The glass packs that used to be on it. No more.
Hey, what color was it when you got it from him? Do you remember?
17 different colors.
Was it?
The bread was the bread. That's a brown bed, by the way. The bed was dark brown, or was a brown. The cab was maroon. Couple different fenders.
Okay. Yeah, I
It was literally a scrap together truck.
Everything.
This sucker was Johnny Cash, one piece at a time, baby. Same up here. I don't think we're gonna need the bump stops. Down the road we decide to add some. Obviously they'll bolt right on, and then those ones won't have crappy black paint on them. I meant high quality, nice paint on them, not crappy. The bump stops look crappy. Guys, I think that's everything cleaned up I was wanting to clean up. I know from the video point of view it probably don't look like much, but I'm telling you, here in person, not seeing all that piddly crap all over that frame, it sure does look nicer. I'm gonna kind of clean up some so we have a better work environment. Then we may try to figure out the front springs, because earlier I had to take my wife to an appointment. It was all icy out, and when I was out, I swung by the hardware and found us some hardware I think we can use. We're gonna be back in business. The hardware did not have new 9/16 bolts, the length I needed. There's where I hair too short. So we're just gonna clean the threads on these old ones. We're gonna run them till they bust. Shoo-wee! She's practically brand new. We'll hit her on the wire wheel and clean up a little bit of that rust, a little looby-dooby on her. She'd be good to go for many years to come. All right, let's go springs on. Got this side on just so I can kind of figure her out. The lift kit came with new bushings and everything for it. We're gonna go ahead and give them the loober doober as well. Little freestyle action here where we get her all over Slick's hand and the top of the
And the workbench.
Reach up there if you think you're tough. You bowder. As far as the drop arm for the steering, I ordered it. Amazon Prime, should be here in a couple days. Brake lines, guys, I looked up. You can get like 1992 K 2500. Has pretty well the same ends. One uses a threaded nut where one uses a clip. I'm not too worried about that. We can put a threaded nut on it, no problem. And vice versa. Anyhow, they're longer, so I'm just getting those through like the parts house through O'Reilly's. That way if we ever got to replace them, we can just do them through there or whatever. But we're not worried about that anyways. If those brake lines would have worked, we were gonna have to tape them all up to protect them during the blasting. So now we've just pulled them off. And then after we get this thing back and all beautiful the way she's gonna be, then we'll just put on the new ones that are actually long enough. I don't see anything on our leaf springs that indicate there's a front or back. They are symmetrical links. I'm still gonna do them with at least the part numbers facing the right or the same way. So part number to the rear. That means we need our bigger bushing for the 7/16 bolt back there. I just want to make sure both sides match. Then our 9/16 to the front. And this is tight fit, so we got to whoop it.
If they are the wrong way, we'll be the first one to know.
Well, with her lifted so high, we won't be able to tell if she's centered or not. If she was lowered down, we would know immediately if she wasn't centered. But not this way. The world will never know. Install's going very well. Jeez, this one's fighting us a little more. There we go. She's gonna go, okay. Using this to try to spin her. Perfect. Hardware store got me. They put a smaller nut in with the other nuts, and I did not realize it until here we are. Quick little clean up on our shackles, and I think we'll go together with our new bolts. I got to go back to drop off stout for alignment tomorrow, so I'll get us another nut then. I don't know you're supposed to lube those, but I don't see how it hurts anything. Just keep the paint from sticking, you know, no big deal. This side's fighting me a little bit. I'm not really sure what's going on because the other side slid right together. One missing nut will get you. Suck that old girl down. We kind of fought our axle. That side's wanting to line up. As you can see, our U-bolt slid right in. No fighting us there. We're gonna kind of suck these down to snug it where it can't move, but I'm not sure if we're gonna actually zip them hard yet. Ooh, we're gonna have to find the sweet spot for that sway bar mount too. Nope, may have found it. Nay. Now it's gotta go back, it looks like. Besides that, our drive shaft fell apart, so that's cool. Things are going great. I don't know how that goes back though.
This is gonna have to come up.
I think that bushing's gonna have to disconnect, and I bet there's supposed to be a drop down bracket or something off of this nice high quality mount right there.
Does that come in the kit you bought?
The kit that didn't come with the kit with no shit is what it is. That kit didn't tell me I needed a steering arm, brake hoses, nothing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna shoot us some lube on there. Have old Slicky run that back in. This ain't no puddins.fab.shop lubing.
That is the way.
Oh yeah. That's a hell of a bolt for a sway bar. Golly.
Business.
That's good. That'll let her play some, but it's on there far enough where it can't come off there. Hey, will you try to line that drive shaft up, and then I'll pick up on this, and we see if we even get it. See what's going on here. So that we got to undo what we just did, so we can slide that back together. That's why I was wanting to leave her loose, but I don't know there's going to be enough there. I'm backtracking Billy, and this is redo Ricky. We're gonna redo some stuff. 4x4s are stupid. Or maybe it's the installer. Why don't you just spline together? I can get it touching. I just didn't find the splines where it slips. You know, work harder, not smarter.
So we're gonna pop the back one out this time.
That's the goal.
Or break a strap.
Man, that's gotta be pretty close right there. Maybe that ain't supposed to slide apart at all.
I think it's supposed to.
Oh, we got it! Don't let off pressure. Oh, is it going?
I'm not sure, it looked like it was.
It looked like it slipped. Oh, get your dirty, oh yeah, get your dirty butt in there.
How far is this on there? Oh yeah, it's not deep.
Not even close?
No.
Well, nothing said you gotta have a extendo drive shaft. Geez, you'd think we put a damn 8-inch lift spring on this sucker. Look how that's got the proper bolt, and that one's got a through one.
Also, look how this is touching.
The lift kit saga continues. Well, flop that apart to get it lined up. We're gonna ditch worrying about that, just try to get this in place. She may be whooping us a little bit.
It didn't look this hard on the power block when I washed it when I was 13.
David Stacy's disappointed in us.
Does it go through the housing?
Yeah, it should slip over this.
Oh, right there.
I showed y'all how to do that when I built Sergeant Donkey. Y'all didn't.
Sergeant.
I don't remember what that truck was called. That big old truck. Y'all check back a couple hours, we'll have this U-boat started.
This is why we put mud tires on a Torolla.
Damn right. Torolla go twice the places this thing will too.
I will say this.
They're locked in?
We've had this stuck. We ain't never had the Torolla stuck.
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, we didn't quite make her as far as I wanted to today, but we also fixed a lot more than I was planning on fixing today. So a win's a win, I guess, kind of. Hank, oldest daughter, she's got a birthday dinner that we got to go to, and I've already got us running behind. So I better get in the house before I'm in trouble. Oh, he gonna get me. Get it. Guys, I am fired up this morning. We are about to get going on that, what we can got. We also got some stout stuff to do today behind the scenes. Let me show you in case you ain't been watching this build. I know the old heifer here ain't been the most popular on the channel. Y'all didn't want to see nobody swap with no stupid Toyota Dash. But I mean, y'all can be mad at that if you want. See, real time as I'm shooting this video behind the scenes, old Top Stitch just knocked out them door panels and seat on that thing. Looks awesome. Don't let me lie to you, he did more than that. We also glued in a headliner. Hey, guess who gets right on this side, huh? We're gonna have to get you a Mexican blanket jacket to match. But behind the scenes, I've got to do stuff for that one today too, so we're ready to shoot the final video. Anyhow, squirrel moment, don't get too distracted. Let's start banging out what we need to get finished up on this. We are still waiting on U-bolts. Expected today at noon. The whole ice, you know, has just put everything behind in Oklahoma. But today we're going to get caught up. Remove vent line. Check. Called Puddin' Pops earlier, let him know his crossmember was bouncing around in there. He said, how many trucks you think like that are on the road around here? I said, in Oklahoma a lot, because I've seen the ones half crippled going down the road. Oh, need to order sway bar bushings. Remove sway bar. remove stabilizer. So we're gonna remove this stuff. I'm not worried about adding back sway bar, stabilizer, brake lines, any of that kind of crap until we get it back from paint. That's all stuff that, like I said, would have to be almost taped off anyhow. Well, not the sway bar. Let's see. Gotta get up underneath here, it looks like. Ooh, cotter pin for the win on the stabilizer. Hey, found some missing hardware. Y'all been looking for that? Don't worry, I found it. Did you hear that noise? That was the sound of me putting an incorrect socket on there. Yeah. Pop, lock, and drop it. Oh yeah, that sway bar needed new bushings. I have a stinking suspicion that we get the weight back on this truck and our sway bar and stuff is gonna match back up. I think there's a good possibility that drive shaft would work too. What y'all experience? Let me know down below, because I clearly don't know what I'm doing on a big lifted ram. And instead of pulling that up there, that's a stud, I realize. So we'll leave the stud and just pull this nut off the back. Yeah. I did order these parts, so whenever we replace this arm, we'll put new that on there too. That's a very professional nomenclature of that. That's called a that. Come on, you can do it. Goodness. Got her. Oh no, we won't get rid of that. She's a damn big bird yellow. We're boogieing along. Let's just pull our front drive shaft for now. Oh, is that easier said than done? I think that's the rest of stripping down. I was gonna pull the front drive shaft. However, old truck guy has a lifted short wide that has the same springs and blah, blah, blah that we're using. And he did not have to get a longer drive shaft. He just had to do the arm and whatever. He said the sway bar still worked. So I'm gonna leave that separated. That way they can blast it and still paint it as is. And when we get weight on this, we'll put it back together and it'll work or it will not. In fact, I may slip it together and do this ratchet strap in a way where he can paint it all together. If you can't tell, I don't really know what I'm doing. Just out here, firing from the hip, baby. Chow. Go for a little reposition. Put the old ratchet strap here. Now that won't mess with too much paint. We can touch that up. Got that started, so hopefully that'll just stay like that. If we have to replace it, we'll pull her out of there. Y'all's probably gonna let me know down in the comments and then I'll know. Get your little hole punchy out. I thought we were done with fabrication until yesterday. Towards the end of the day, look what Slick noticed right there. Hairline crack. See, when I was in the service, we find a crack on the engine case. I'd have to circle it and then call for NDI, the non-destructive inspection people, to come officially mark it. Okay, they didn't want DI. That's me, the destructive inspection. So maybe if we kind of polish on her here, y'all can see it better. Stops right there. So we're gonna mark it right there. Watch out for lines underneath there, brake lines, fuel lines, etc. We're gonna drill that baby out. So you can bevel that out. You can weld her up. It'll still be prone to keep cracking through where that crack was going. When you run that crack into a hole like that, it disperses where the crack's wanting to go. It can't go nowhere, damn hole there. So now we'll bevel that out, we'll weld that up, and that should last us pretty good. Nice little channel in it. Weld the bottom side. We're gonna leave the bottom side weld and we'll smooth out the top one. That'll hold until it breaks again. All right, now as I take that stout and drop it off to get alignment, I'm gonna haul these with me where I can have them broken down. That way our steelies are ready to be blasted and painted. So we can have the steelies painted at the same time. We're doing good, guys. We gotta run this stuff though, because I gotta get the stout there. We're still waiting on our U-bolts too. We need them and to service our diffs. We're gonna make it. Everything's gonna be okay. Yeah! Real light things, you know. Yeah! Knock out the back glass now. Yeah! Lighter and lighter. Yeah! Barely even felt they were there. Well, I did not think this one out very well, did I? Now, this don't have no window cranks and or door handles. Oh, can I get it? I was gonna say, if I can, I'm stuck. Yeah! Oh, thank goodness I got gloves on. All right. All right. No problem. Easy peasy. Got that stout loaded and went and dropped her off. Swung by the hardware. Got us our nut we need here. And unfortunately, I've been waiting on U-bolts to come in. And I only got 2 of them when I needed 4 of them. And these are too narrow. They got me 3 1/4 when I needed 3 1/2. Now lengthwise and being 5/8, this is good. So we're actually gonna take this. They told me of a place that I've been to before. I didn't know they made U-bolts there at Stewart Wholesale Supply. So it's unfortunate we got to run around today, but we're gonna go get these U-bolts built, hopefully. Well, so much for that. Waited around in there for a good minute. Thought he was making them. And he just came back and said, oh yeah, we ain't got no material. So that's how it goes sometimes, I guess. I just looked on Amazon. I can order the bolts, guys. It's just, I don't know how we're gonna rig her up for now to just be able to even move the thing off our lift. I need the lift. What if I mount Theo underneath the rear and you just move it around for me? Yeah. Back in the shop. We can get buck nasty on these brake lines. The K2500 ones came in. On this very clean table, you can see the length of that. The one we took off, the length of the new one, about the right length. The only difference is this uses a clip versus a nut. And then on the rear, it's opposite. It don't use a clip, and it uses a nut. And you can see how it's a little longer as well. Only thing is, they come with this little silly bracket clamped on them, so I'm just prying that off there. Not actually installing this, just going for a mock-up, make sure they're gonna work, guys, and check that out. Now we've got a little bit of slack to worry about in there. We'll keep an eye on that, but that looks like it's gonna work. Boom. And we can bend this over just a hair if we need to. So there you go, there's your solution for if you wanna use like a factory style line instead of the aftermarket braided ones. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Follow me. Guys, we just gotta be able to get this thing to roll. I order the proper U-bolts, we'll have them Monday. For now, let's build some not so proper U-bolts. Have some of these, have one of them. Finally found out what a 2x4 is for. Yeah! We need it 3 1/2 inches, huh? Well, ain't that what a 2x4 actually is? Perfect. So we'll line that up. Hey, little gap. Don't worry about that, we got a little piece. I'm just welding it on the sides and the bottom, leaving the top where we ain't got to fight a weld. We can just whoop, button it up. Shoo! When you're good, you're good. One temporary U-bolt complete. Whip you up about 4 of them, and we can finally, ooh, look at the fit. We can finally get this bolted in temporarily. Get the old ugly wheel and tire package for her. Way to ruin the look. I'm all shook up. There we go. Here we go, final push of the day. Let's see if we can't ruin a good day by getting some gear oil on us. Well, that gear oil looks nice. Oh, hold on, she may be a little milky. The part that's gear oil is nice, anyhow. Oh, she ain't too bad, is she? Nah. She had 1,000,000 miles left on her. Main thing was it was kind of leaking. I think just a bad gasket, so that's what we're after here is a reseal. Well, I don't know, there's a little hooky puck in there. Here we go, my first time ever seeing in this axle. Yeah, that looks good. Looks like it's never chewed into the little carrier or whatever you call that before, ever. Huh, wonder when that happened. Let's see, I mean, there's a couple little sparkles which you're used to seeing, but I don't see nothing crazy in there. So I'm guessing she's been chewed into before. I think this is a 373 gear ratio. So we got a 41 divide by the 11, 3.727272, 373s. Let's get us some brake clean and we'll just give her a mean flushing. About 1 whole can worth per diff. Next we're gonna give her a super scrape here. Get her all cleaned up. This gasket's just stuck on there. I scraped her off with my knife. Now I'm just using a Scotch-Brite on my roll lock. Found a pretty good divot right there. So I'm guessing something's come apart in that before. We'll swap this to an 80 grit and just be real careful here. We're gonna try to smooth that out. That's it, dab will do ya. But they're all cleaned up good. Get us a new gasket and she's ready to go back together. Proper torque on them. She should be good to go. Well, after we service them, of course. Woohoo! Couple more cans on the rear and I think we're ready for some fresh air up in here. Getting a little lightheaded, if you know what I'm saying. She looks all right. Same thing, cleaned her out. Teeth are actually a little rusted and pitted. Maybe you can see right in there. But that's all right, because we say, run her till she busts. Woo! Playing with fire here. Just trying to make a mess, huh? Oh, yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Well, I'm gonna try to get these serviced up without making too big of a mess. Here she comes, Johnny. I think that qualifies as full. Yeah! Well, let's just say things didn't go as planned on this go around, guys. As you see right now, this thing is right here sitting next to a dumpster because it's basically trash. From the get-go, before we ever tore into anything, I should have checked to make sure the frame was good and square, but this truck never in the history of me driving it, or Dad, I talked to him, he said it always drove so good. And I said, I know, Dad, but tape measure don't lie. And on the second channel, if you watch my second channel, you'll see there's a day where after we'd done this work, I went walking by it and I could see that the axle is in the front crooked. It just is not square in there, and it finally caught my eye. I think because on the lifts, with the lift springs, it created some distance between here where it wasn't also up packed together, you know, like with the motor and stuff in there. Guys, it's a good thing I decided to tear it down to do it just for paint. That is really just to make it a little bit nicer. But after doing that and getting it lifted up, I'm like, man, that axle looks crooked. So I start checking stuff with a tape measure. The rear end is square in here based off these hangers to the rear end. But then if you go off these hangers, like to the front, I don't remember how much it's off. I do remember that if we go from the rear end to the front ball joint, there is a difference of 1.25 inches. We're not talking like, oh, it's 3/16 off, hell run it. 1.25 inches difference. From this mount to the front axle, there is 3/4 inch difference. And I know some of y'all are thinking, well, that's a cut down truck, right? You boxed it up, it'd been cut down. Well, if we check any of these rivets or these cross members to anything up in here, the cut down is good within 1/16 inch. So it's not that. We had found a crack right here. We had found that front cross member was loose. After we found that, we also should have checked it for square way before we did the amount of work we did. And this front mount was butchered, destroyed, and the front of these had been cut off. So when we seen this had somehow been butchered, we can only assume that was hit somehow to be able to destroy that. It don't just destroy itself, and I should have known that. Another crack I found later was this one right here. Cracked, this material shoved down, the crack's going all the way right there, where now it's actually headed towards the back. So we can assume that this was hit super hard, shoved this whole frame rail back. That impact probably freed up this cross member that was loose earlier in the video, and you can tell that was shoved back because all that material is pushing down. Now, does it look like it's shoved back enough to me that we should have 1.25 inch difference? No, it does not. With what I see, I could see us being 1/4 inch. I have no clue where the extra 1 inch is coming in, unless this whole frame rail right in here is shoved over that away enough that it's pulling the spring mount somehow closer together. Me and Slick was checking on it, and there's a point where I unbolted the rear axle again, and when I did it on the lift, the back of that frame picks up like that a lot. Like a lot. Which kind of makes sense, because Slick said, as you took that body apart, didn't you say that one side of the cab had like a couple more bushings than the other side of the cab? So it's crazy, because this truck looked great when it was first together, back when I was driving it, when Dad was driving it. But like I said, the tape measure don't lie. Basically what it comes down to is this frame is trash. If there was something obviously wrong with it where we could correct it, then we would do that, guys. But I don't think that is here. I think the thing that's much easier to do is find another K10 frame that has not been hit, that checks out to be square from the get-go, even if we've got to cut it down to a short bed again, and then just swap our suspension and stuff over. Obviously all that kind of stuff bolts on. It just sucks that we've wasted the amount of time we have, but I guess that's part of truck building, guys. Nothing by eye told me that this frame was going to be garbage. It always drove good, so we went with it. And in the end, I guess that kind of came around and bit me clean in the booty. Because now, to make more progress on Puddins Pop's truck, we're kind of back to square one where we began. No regrets, guys. At the end of the day, Dad's going to get a better truck out of the deal. I don't want him driving around in a crooked truck, anything that's dangerous or anything like that. So at the end of the day, Dad's gonna get something better, and it's just gonna take us a little more work. Thank you guys so much for being here, even if it is just to watch me spin my wheels in the mud sometimes, so to speak. puddins.fab.shop for that good quality merchandise. We appreciate all the support there. That makes it possible for us to keep this thing going and growing, and getting another chassis that we're going to need for Puddin' Pop's truck, come to find out. I'm on the Facebooker, I'm on the Instagram, we're on the Patreon and all that kind of good stuff. And I will see y'all next week, where I hope y'all like, well, never mind. Just be excited. How's that? I'll see y'all next time. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project.